Oh shit!
Adios, Mafia.
Adios, Mafia!
That's a great line. Adios, Mafia.
Adios, Mafia. So, superhero team-ups are on the rage right now. We got the Avengers movies, the Justice League movies. People love it when superheroes team up. And, you know, wrestlers, Mexican wrestlers, they're kind of like superheroes. So, wouldn't it be cool if a Mexican luchador and an American superhero were to team up? Well, got good news for you, everybody. Because this movie, 3 Dev Adam... I think I'm saying it right. Anyway, this is a movie where we get to see Captain America and El Luchador El Santo team up to fight evil Spider-Man. It's a great film.
This movie made me feel like so many different emotions. Like I was confused and angry and like bored, like all at the same time. I don't know how it was possible.
Wow, Spidey's getting the shit beaten out of him here.
Is this like graveyard?
Yeah, like a real graveyard.
It looks like a real graveyard.
Yep.
Oh, God, this is wrong.
I would
like
be
stepping in the graves.
I would be honored if Captain America and Spider-Man were fighting at my grave. Quick background on our iconic characters.
Right.
We got Captain America. He is, you know, a symbol of patriotism and one of the most known superheroes of all time. Fights for justice, and he's like the best person ever. None of that matters really to this, but that's who he is. And there's El Santo. Now, for those of you who don't know, El Santo is like the most famous Mexican luchador ever. In the 60s and 70s, they made some pretty amazing movies starring him.
Aquí está Santo. Retrocedan. Ready.
So he is like a big cultural icon of Mexico. So we got this American icon and this Mexican icon teaming up to take on the most evil villain ever, Spider-Man. Those of you who are not familiar with Spider-Man may not know this, but he's not supposed to be a mafia crime boss. The cops call up
Right.
Captain America and El Santo, who I guess are some sort of detective team of some kind. They explain that they've dealt with the Spider-Man mafia in America and in Mexico, and
Right.
that's why they've come to Turkey. So we got detectives Captain America and El Santo on the case, and we have Spider-Man going around stabbing people. It's very ill-defined what Spider-Man is doing. He's just evil. Like halfway through the movie, they decide that he's gonna like steal these expensive statues. Like he'll break into people's places and choke them and then steal like these things, which he claims are worth thousands. And then in the same scene, he claims they're worth millions.
Right.
Şunun güzelliğine bak Nadia.
Gerçekten çok güzel sevgilim.
Her biri 100.000'ler değerinde.
Really? They really don't look that amazing.
Milyonlar değerinde.
No,
Amerika'daki
you
milyonlar-
just said.
Yeah.
You can't change it. You what?
Gelsin
Worth
milyonlar.
thousands, you heard me. Millions! Should be noted that the actors that they got to play Captain America and El Santo do some pretty cool stunts in this.
There's a lot of kicks and flips that are technically cool, but like just are bizarre and don't really make sense in terms of the fight. But like you're like, well, that took skill, I guess. To
Yeah,
do.
well, yeah, they do some impressive climbs, some impressive like flips, but it's shot so horribly that it's hard to appreciate. And I mean, we gotta
it's
talk.
shot bad.
We gotta talk about the editing. The editing is completely insane.
Fucking bonkers editing. They cut off scenes either way too early, where you're like, just hold for one more second, or they leave the scene go on way too long, and it's just it's like a nightmare.
Bunlar da önümüzdeki parçalara aitmiş Julia.
Peki, teşekkür ederim. Acaba daha çok var mı?
Yok, bakılacak birkaç parça kaldı.
Peki.
Oh, the editing is.
Bugün kaç mektup getirdin postacı güzel?
Sadece 3 mektup getirdim Bilal abi.
Başka ne haber?
What is happening?
Like, are these scenes all happening near the same location? Like, what is going on?
Who is that character? Why are they
I-
following her?
Çay sandviç! Çay sandviç! Çaycı! Buyur abi. Tamam abi, şimdi.
Yelling at tea sandwiches.
That was the tea and sandwiches scene. And also, just generally, the sound editing is also
Foley.
really bad. Like they'll be having a fight scene, and the punch sounds will not match at all. Like it doesn't feel like they're even trying. It feels like somebody just went into the Foley studio and just randomly banged around.
The sound like cuts out at moments too. Like
It's like somebody's breaking a bunch of plates off screen.
I bet you they did the Foley all in one take. And just, it was just a guy like smashing to it, just going. They don't sync up. They're almost always like too late. And then like it's the punches are bad, but like I would say the footsteps are the worst.
Are those footsteps?
I don't know. Everyone is wearing high heels. Everyone's wearing tap dancing shoes.
So there's this gym, and
Right.
Spider-Man is related to the gym somehow because the guy who's the gym manager works for Spider-Man. And at some point, Santo breaks into the office of this guy and knocks him out and goes into his desk and starts shoving things down his pants.
Oh yeah. Just like pieces of paper, just like documents, and just like some maps, and just starts shoving them in his underwear.
Yeah, like right next to his dick, like right there. I get that he doesn't have pockets, but
Yeah, I guess that was their workaround.
I feel like he could have like shoved that into his mask or something. It's just really gross.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then he takes them out later and gives them to Captain America.
Yeah, that was next to your balls, dude. Yeah, Santo's kind of gross. There's a lot of sex stuff in this.
Sex
yes,
stuff, just
there's one scene where they go to a strip club and we see a striptease for way too long
time.
of someone who's not a character, and it's not Captain America or Santo or Spider-Man watching it. It's like a side character,
Yeah.
and it leads to nothing. And then there's this scene where Spider-Man has sex with his evil girlfriend.
Right. What did they say? Did they say anything?
No.
What was that?
We cut to these puppets, and then back to the sex, and we never see those puppets
Never
ever again. Like what the fuck was
That
that?
by far was the craziest moment ever. It was like a weird Statler and Waldorf moment where there's just like puppets watching Spider-Man and his girlfriend have sex. That scene like truly broke my brain.
That was insane. Yes. I can't believe. I'm still so perplexed by that. Like, what the fuck was that? Jesus Christ. Spider-Man decides that he's gonna, I guess, keep stealing things, and Spider-Man and El Santo show up to stop him.
Captain America.
Yeah, like they show up and suddenly there's multiple Spider-Man. At first it looks like it's just really bad editing, but
Right.
then it turns out that there's 2 different Spider-Man, and then it turns out there's a bunch of different Spider-Man, and it is never explained how is this happening. But my assumption is that there is one real Spider-Man and the rest of the Spider-Man are his henchmen. I'm assuming that's what's happening, but we are never told this.
That can't be the case because they all have the same voice and same laugh as him.
Oh, okay.
God damn it!
This is the climax of the movie, and it's just the same fight scene over and over again. It's not like you know, the true Spider-Man is like the best fighter. No, they all fight the exact same way. Also, like,
they're in a factory?
They're like in a factory, yes.
And he keeps killing Spider-Man with different parts of the factory, but you can't really tell, like, it's not like blades or anything. It's like, he put Spider-Man in a box that moves down a conveyor belt, and that killed him?
Yeah, and that's the main Spider-Man, too.
Yeah, that's how the final Spider-Man
Yeah, that's how Spider-Man goes out. What? What's happening?
I don't know. They're in some sort of factory, and factory things are happening.
Was that it? Was that the real Spider-Man?
Maybe. I guess so. I guess he died unceremoniously and without any extra.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how he died.
He died like all the others. He got put into a box. I don't know.
At the end of the movie, they're like, oh, we solved it. We did the thing. And Captain America looks at a car and sees a Spider-Man mask. There's somebody wearing a Spider-Man mask in that car. Oh, shit.
Twist ending.
Oh, who is that? Who is that? I guess it was a prank, but
some kid. It's like a surreal nightmare dream.
That's the end?
Freeze frame.
So, Chason, would you recommend 3 Devadam?
I think overall, yes. I was generally like bored and tired and like not enjoying it and confused, but there are a couple moments that are so insane that I feel like it's worth it. So I would say overall, yes.
Yeah, I for the most part would agree with that. This movie feels like a painful fever dream where you don't know what the fuck is happening at any moment. Like, if you feel like turning it off like 20 minutes in, I wouldn't blame you, but I would try to power through it because there's some pretty amazing stuff in there. Yeah.
Dabba dabba 3 dabba doo.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry.